Hey everybody, what the flick? The Strain, episode 1, season 4. It's not for everyone. And how? Alonso, Duralde, William Bibbiani. Let's have a look.
It's a parasitic mechanism. This is rewriting human biology.
Get out of here as soon as you can.
Sunday.
I waved that box through.
Are you saying this epidemic was intentional, that somebody planned this? Is that what you're saying? Hello?
We told you this show would be awesome.
We're not hunting down human beings.
They're hunting us.
The Strain.
I love that quote from Entertainment Weekly. We told you this show would be awesome, because it's not followed up by a statement of whether or not it actually is. Like, we told you, sorry?
Sorry, exactly.
We
and
told
now
you,
we regret
yeah.
that.
Pick one.
Take your pick.
This was a fun episode.
It was. I think now that we've gotten past the let's set up all these characters, we can just sort of be in it and follow it.
We did get one
places.
new ridiculous character that I hope we see more of. Dutch Velders.
Oh, well, that's
the hot, grungy,
Super
Nomi
hacker.
Rapace, who super
Yeah,
hacker.
I was gonna say she's totally the girl without a dragon tattoo.
Yeah, and even have that moment where it's like, oh, I didn't realize you were a woman. I'm like, oh, are we still doing that cliche? I thought we were past that as a culture.
Why not just have her come in with a motorcycle helmet on and take it off and toss her hair around? What? A girl?
And I like that she only exists, for now anyway, just to sort of explain why no one is tweeting about this. Like, that's how difficult it is to tell a story like The Strain in this day and age.
I do love the idea that, like, corporate assholes would hire somebody to mess up the internet and make it look like an anti-corporate hack.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Well, that's how stone-hearted they are.
Stone-hearted, yeah.
Someone needs to write that as a hair metal. Stone-hearted! This is the episode where I was worried that we weren't going to get countless shots of a caved-in skull, and we did. So thank God. This so gross. I have a high tolerance level for that, and just like they just kept cutting back to it willy-nilly, this corpse with like a big tendril coming out of it, and then the scene where they pulled the tendril out. Oh, that was delicious.
That's like watching somebody getting their catheter removed. It just keeps going. You keep thinking it's going to turn into knotted handkerchiefs and like flags of all nations.
It's such a great Guillermo del Toro moment. I was reminded of that scene from Mimic when they had to like pull open the giant cockroach and find like the sex glands. They can rub it all over themselves, and it's just like you're just having way too much fun. Way too much fun.
I like the whole thing of the husband chaining himself up in the shed.
Yeah.
What's the movie where, or it's a TV show where somebody sees this like vicious guard dog, like, and then they come running at them and then like come this close to their face but stop because they're chained up.
That's happened a ton of times.
Okay, that's just a cliche now. All right, well, so they do that here.
Yeah.
But it was, it's
well, I
effective.
like that whole bit. You know, I was kind of hard on that bit in the previous episode because I just thought the wife wasn't very well developed as a character. But I like where they're going with it now. It feels like this one like Stephen King short story that got trapped inside the Strain, and now even though she's really meek and believes in God and everything, there's like this one guy who hates her dog, so she's just gonna feed him to her vampire husband in the garage. I like that bit. That was nice. It was creepy, and even though she's still underdeveloped, it feels like a short story.
Maybe this will be like an ongoing gag where like Jehovah's Witnesses come to her house and the cable guy's late, you know?
Right? Yeah, it feels like that kind of a bit, and that was fun. That was really, really fun. Yeah, I'm digging this. I'm really, really digging this. It's starting to move in a way that I really appreciate, where even if it's silly, there's a momentum to it now, where it's just getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a human dimension. I like, so now, all the Sean Astin has come clean about his...
Faster than I thought he would.
Yeah, I know.
Got that out of the way.
I thought that would at least be episode 6 or 7.
Because we're doing that early, I suspect we're going to see him try to redeem himself.
Sure.
As opposed to if they had done it like at the end of the season, I thought maybe we just want to see him dead.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, he's probably going to really bust his butt trying to make up for this and probably sacrifice himself to save lives.
Right, maybe even be a mole, go back to Stoneheart and try and get some intel or whatever. Stoneheart! And then, but no, I thought the autopsy was interesting and
really
it revealed some, but also it conveyed information and was super gross, so that's a good combo, I think.
Yeah.
Although, God, the man wig on Corey Stoll, it's stop it.
He looks like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs in his like suit, but he's only wearing the head. Like that's what he looks like.
There's and then obviously the whole the conspiracy angle we have. Goes all the way up to the director of HHS being, a crony of the evil old guy.
Of course.
So that was going to happen, I guess. So yeah, I mean, this is sort of a like kind of I think this is sort of a transitional episode. Finally, we've brought in our Jewish Armenian vampire hunter to do his thing.
Got to kick some serious butt.
He got to behead a child. I mean, come on.
I know, and thank goodness.
Who doesn't want to see that?
That is exactly what was missing from this week's episode of Masters of Sex. That would have been great if they're just throwing that in for no reason. But, what was that? We'll get to it later.
But I like the idea that now you have these doctors facing an actual conundrum here of like, well, is it enough to save lives by trying to, come up with a scientific way to counteract these worms, or do we just have to kind of bite the bullet and do a slash and burn?
Do we burn London to get rid of the plague rats?
Exactly. Yeah.
And here's the thing. That's a valid question. That is a serious concern. I was seriously worried that we were going to stretch out their incredulity for the entire season.
Right.
And I'd be like, just get on with it. Come on. And no, we're at that point. We got there reasonably quickly. And I like that there's a divide. I like that one of them is like gung-ho, kill them all! And one of them's just like, I don't know. And she's probably going to die badly.
Could be. But I think, you're right. The fact that we've resolved that in this episode and the Sean Astin, stuff, I think does suggest that they're ready to kind of move on and get,
and
take that to an interesting place. Although it's crazy that a show that is co-created by a Mexican filmmaker is giving us such stock Latino characters.
I know, like one of them's a thief, and one of them is a religious mom who doesn't believe anything's going on. I did like seeing Marlo Stanfield from The Wire in as like the guy who's buying their car. He's like one of the best villains from The Wire, if you can call anyone on The Wire a villain. And I really hope he's going to be a major part of the show because that actor is awesome. I forget his name. But the thing is, this whole show is full of stock characters. I mean, that's the thing. And the whole thing is we introduce a stock character, and then hopefully being confronted with something insane will get them to do something kind of interesting. And that's really all I can hope for. Again, The Strain, I like that we're covering a show that is this genre, that is not trying to elevate the genre beyond what it needs to be. It's not even trying to make an important statement. It's just trying to tell a really fun vampire story. And even though it's cliche, it's moving quickly. It's stuff is happening. It's scary. It's got a lot of different things going on, and it's not padding itself out to be a whole series, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, and now that we're not sort of mired in the stupid exposition stuff, it doesn't bother me so much the idea of, look, we want you to buy into the vampire worm thing, so we're going to make these characters as recognizable and cliched as possible so that you don't have to make a leap there. Leaps over here. This,
it's a shorthand. They're doing so much, they had to cut a few corners just to get it started. With a cast this sprawling, you don't only have so much time. It's not like The Wire where they can take their time and really play this whole thing out. It's like, no, we got to get to the vampires. We got to get to the Stoneheart. We got to do all this stuff. So let's do it quickly. And they're doing it very efficiently, all things considered. I'm really digging it. I'm more on board than I have been, and so I'm going to ride this out, and I'm having more fun. I'm trusting them more. So we'll see where this goes. We hope you'll join us for that. Thanks.